All right. Third try. Tell my cat to quit stepping on the mouse. Please. I've got my lasagna sauce and the first noodle in the pan. I'm using a loaf pan because I want a very small lasagna. There's only one of me here to eat it. Now, the noodles are a little bigger than my pan, so I need to cut them, and I'm deciding, do I want a knife or the kitchen scissors? I think I want a knife, so let me get one because I forgot to bring one. Okay, got it. I'm having trouble finding places to do this. Just a little knife and slice the lasagna noodle. Oh my. Yeah, I think I want the kitchen scissors. Hang on. Oh boy. As my channel says, I'm kitchen challenged. So let's snip the noodle so it fits better. Now my sauce is made from scratch, although I did use canned diced tomatoes. I've been told that they're canned when they're ripe, but if you buy fresh tomatoes in the store here, they were picked green and ripened in a warehouse. So the canned ones will taste better. You can find vine ripened tomatoes, but I didn't have any. So anyway, I had onions, celery, carrots, 2 parts of ground beef to 1 part of pork sausage. You can make yours any way you want. And of course some tomato sauce, and I do not have the expensive stuff. I'm on a budget, a very tight budget. But, you know, I didn't get the absolute cheapest either. Anyway, I did put in some Italian spices, marjoram, rosemary, thyme, a tiny bit of oregano. Even though I hate oregano, it's necessary. But to replace most of the oregano, I added basil. And I did add some salt and freshly ground black pepper. And I kept tasting as I cooked the sauce so I could see, does it need a little more of this or that? And I could adjust the flavors. Sorry for the mess in my house. I'm working on it. So, to begin with, I put a little sauce in the bottom of the pan, which I'm now covering with the lasagna noodles. Come on. I'm having trouble. I'm a klutz. Not only in the kitchen, but everywhere. Now it's going to be a little bigger than the pan. And it's going to overlap a little, but that's okay. Kitchen scissors cut the noodle, and the cats are helping. So I have my first layer. Now, in Italy, they usually make a bechamel sauce, which is basically flour, butter, and milk or cream, and a dash of nutmeg. Tora, leave it alone. It's mine. No. bad cat. She's helping. I want cheese, and I know you're supposed to use ricotta, but that's a little expensive, so I got cottage cheese. It isn't as smooth as ricotta. You could pulse it in the food processor to make it smoother, but I kind of like the texture. So I'm going to, don't want to give a free promotion to the brand. I'm going to just use the cottage cheese on top of these noodles and spread it out. Remember, this is on a budget, but it isn't going to be cheap. It's still lasagna. We want cheese, lots of cheese. Come on. Now, when Mom used to make lasagna, it was my job to grate the cheese. And even though she was rather cheap, she would actually get a ball of mozzarella, not the real thing, of course, made in America, and close enough. Now, a little sauce on top of the cheese. I'm going for a little less money spent, so I'm going to use jack cheese. And I did buy the brick and grate it myself. Sauce, meat sauce. Now, I don't call this bolognese because Italians don't like it when you say it that way. And my tongue gets tied in knots when I try to say it properly. Bolognese. I just can't do that. So I call it a ragu, which means meat sauce. So this is a ragu. Some of my noodles came apart, but that's okay. Let's see. Let's get another one. We've got the cottage cheese and the sauce. And we'll put a noodle in. They aren't the best. They're Barilla. But they're the best I could find. And they were like $2 or $3 for a big box of them. Now let's get the kitchen scissors. I put them somewhere. I cut the noodle to fit. Get another noodle and put it in beside that one. Now they overlap a little, and that's a good thing because it will prevent things from leaking between the layers. But you don't want them to super overlap. Okay, now I'm going to put in the jack cheese that I grated from a brick of cheese. Just not all of it, but a whole bunch of it. And spread it out. Try to get it spread evenly. Okay. And now, I do not have Parmigiano Reggiano. I forgot to tell my phone to be quiet. Do not disturb. Okay, first we're going to put some sauce on top of the jack cheese. This is layer number 3, I think. Sauce. I should have cut the carrots smaller. They're actually showing up as little discs of carrot, but that's okay. We want to get all the meat spread out. This ragu is a little thick. I wanted it more loose and watery because it'll be in the oven for an hour. Tora? No, that's mine. No kitties. This is not for cats. This is people food. And besides, tomatoes are bad for you. Okay, last layer of noodles. Of course, on the top where you want it pretty, I have the ones that broke. See, it's split down the middle. It'll do. This way. I'll make it work. Get my kitchen scissors. Kitchen scissors that I keep clean and wash frequently. And by the way, you don't want to be wearing jewelry while you do this. No wristwatches, no finger rings, no bracelets. If you have a wedding ring that you cannot take off, just be sure to wash often and wash well. Now here where the noodle is split, I'm going to put a little piece on top to make sure I don't have any leaks. All right. And wash your hands frequently while you're cooking. Now, on top of here, the last of the jack cheese, grated by hand by me. And now I do not have Parmigiano Reggiano, even if I could find it in the grocery store. It would be too expensive, but I have this brick of Parmesan cheese made in Wisconsin. I can't get used to the way the camera works. And I tried to grate it, but it doesn't want to grate. It's too crumbly. What are you cats doing? And where's my cheese? What did you do with it? So it's crumbled Parmesan. Hand crumbled by me, sprinkled on top. And I might want to add more jack cheese. But if I do that, I have to grate it. I think with the Parmesan, it's enough cheese. But I'm a cheese freak. More is better. Now, I'm going to have to make a separate video where it's cooked and I taste it, because I don't know how to pause this and start up again. Well, let me see. And the cats are helping. So I'll make a separate video where I just taste it. Okay? It's going to go in the oven for about 45 minutes I set mine to about 350 to 375 Fahrenheit. But for the first baking, I cover the pan with foil so the cheese won't burn. And then, after 45 minutes, I take off the foil and anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to melt the cheese on top, checking frequently to make sure it's melted but not burned. And so I'll see you when it's done. Oh, one last thought. Please don't use the green shaker can. Try to get at least a Parmesan cheese as I did. This was my biggest expense. It was $10 for 5 ounces, but I used just a little of it here, and I'll be using it in other recipes as well. Anyway, I will be back with the tasting in a separate video. Okay? Thank you. And remember, I'm a klutz in the kitchen and elsewhere. I'm kitchen challenged, but I'm learning to cook. See you on the next one. Bye.